Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello friends, we are students from Mathematics Education in Singapore Bangsa Karawang University. We get the duty from Mr. Umar Yais about motivational speech. We would like to introduce ourselves. My name is Anggraeni Lestari.
My name is Gegana Bima Hendrawan.
My name is Juju Junengsih.
My name is Alya Salsabia.
26%. On the nation report part, that the percentage you below for 12th grader for the sufferation in math. In America, we had everything is an exceptional country, but the 26% sounds exceptional to you? Raise your hand if you think as the country we need to do way better than that. I'm with you. We all need math, for why are so many kids confused by it? It is because only 26% of people are hardwired from that, while 74% are not. After working with thousands of kids, I can tell you this is the case at all. Kids don't understand math because we've been teaching it as the humanized subject. But if we make math human again, it will start make sense again. You're probably wondering, how is math in every human in the first place? So think about it. Math is human language, just like English, Spanish, or Chinese, because it allows people to communicate with each other. Even in ancient time, people need the language of math to conduct trade, to build a monument, and to measure the land for farming. This idea of math, the language, isn't exactly new. A great philosopher once said, "The law of nature are written in the language of mathematics." So you see, even Galileo agrees, isn't it? But somewhere along the line, we're taking the language of math with about the real world around us, and we abstract that beyond this recognition, and that's why kids they get confused. Let me show you what I mean. Well, this third grade Californian math standard, and people make sense when 8 years old. Understand the fraction 1 over b as the quantity formed by one part when a whole is partitioned into b equal parts.
Understand fraction per b as the quantity formed by a part of size 1 per b. And if you give description to an 8 years, you probably correction like this. To Adam express, the standard makes sense. But to kid, it's a absolute tutor. I tell this example passively because the direction and foundational to algebra to trigonometric calculus. So kids don't understand fraction in the elementary middle school, how right the way in the high school. But they are made subtraction simple and easy for the kids to understand. Yes, just remember that math the language and use the mix. For example, when I teach a grammar to add subtraction, I start with the apple plus apple. For say yes, 1 apple plus 1 apple, and people often say 2 with the pixel correct. Half them include the word and the word math to a language, but just the 2 is 2 apple. Next is 3 pencil plus 3 pencils. You all know the pencil plus pencil these pencils, so everyone, how many pencils? 5 pencils is right, and the key include in the words. I tried to sum it with my 5 years old this month. After the pencils, I asked her what 4 billion plus 1 billion and my own over a distance. The skeleton like, are you crazy to be current? How does survive now 4 billion plus 1 billion? I am down it. My inner fan is counting looks up the side 5 billion? And I say right there is billion.
My aunt stood ahead on that because she didn't expect that from the 5-year. But all you have to do is take a language approach, and math become into it is and easy to understand. Then I asked her a question that kindergartner definitely not supposed to know. Plus one third, and she immediately answered third. Just as you are wondering, how can she possibly know that when she doesn't know about the numerator and denominator yet? You see, she wasn't thinking about numerator and denominator. She solved the problem this way, and she used one apple plus one apple as her analogy to understand one third plus one third. So even a kindergarten can add subtraction, you'd better believe that every third grader can do it as well. Just for fun, I asked her an algebra question with 7x word plus 2x word, and then the 5-year correctly answered 9x word, and she did it any exponent rules to figure that it out. So when the people say that we are either way or not, it's not true. Math is a human language, so we have all the ability to understand this. We need to take a language approach to match urgently, because too many kids are look and they are ancient about math, and it doesn't have to be that way. I work with an angry, frustrated high school student, one who called past the algebra because she's only knew 44% of the multiplication text. I've told her that such a keen effort only knowing the 44% of the alphabet, holding me back. She called fast her our public relation, and she had no confidence in that. As the result, this teenager has confidence in herself. I've told her we have to start with the multiplication, because one thing know all of you have with your part, everything gets easier, and they will be having a fast like every heavy ride in Disneyland. What do you think? And she said, okay.
But she systematically learned the timetable in 4 weeks, and yes, even multiplication has the language in better than that. You'll be surprised how many kids don't realize 7x3 can be spelled out as 7x3, which just means 3 7 times, just like that. So when kids see it this way, they quickly realize that the repetition is low and info synonyms. So they grab the memories that 3 7x all the way the 21. The further teenager rolled out tricks to dropping out, becoming fluent and confident in multiplication with the game changer, because for the first time we can focus on the problem solving instead of counting on the finger. I knew she's at the corner when she has figured out that 2 years currently at 445 a month will cost you 10,680, and she's looking at the disappearing finally. Inside is a police sock. That's expensive. At the moment, not having wonder causing problem for her, but she looks giving a math solved problem as the reason to all that. As an educator, it's my duty to challenge kids to be tired. Tire you with this challenge. Our country stuck at 26% subtraction, and I challenge you to pass the number higher. This is important because mathematical thinking not build young mind, but our kids needed to imagine and develop their future. Meeting this challenge can be as simple as apple plus apple. Insist that we teach math the human language, and we will get there sooner rather than later. Thank you. That's all from my team. I'm sorry if you found many mistakes. And the last, I say wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.